What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, man. So, look, we all know that a lot of these LeBron fans, um, they want to rewrite history to the point where it minimizes everybody who is not LeBron James or anybody that poses a threat to LeBron James in their mind. It's not always about just propping up LeBron falsely. It's also about minimizing the accomplishments and the greatness of the players who are a threat to him and the greatness of the teams that they played on. So what you see some of them, what they're doing now is they're now trying to convince people that not the Lakers, not the Kobe Shaq Lakers, but the Spurs were the team of the 2000s. So they can't get around Michael Jordan and the Bulls being the team in the 90s. They can't really make that argument. So now they're trying to convince people that the Spurs were the team of the 2000s. And, you know, a lot of younger fans who don't remember that period, you know, they'll look at Tim Duncan having 5 rings. So they'll say to themselves, well, okay, well, maybe that's true. You know, that's the same amount of rings as Kobe has. So maybe it is true. In reality, Tim Duncan won 2 of his championships outside of the 2000s. One in 1999 and one in 2014. All right. So he won 3 titles. He won 3 championships in the 2000s. One in 2003, one in 2005, and one in 2007. All right. So he won those 3 championships, and he, and as I'm thinking, I'm trying to think of if there was any other years he appeared in the finals during that time, that decade as well. No, that's it. He appeared in the finals in 2003, 2005, and 2007, right? So they never repeated. The Spurs never repeated as champions during that decade. Whereas the Kobe Shaq Lakers three-peated. Famously, they three-peated. And if you include 2009, 2010, since half the season started in the 2000s, they repeated. And Kobe did that without Shaq. And most people include 2009, 2010 because most of that, half of that season started in the 2000s. Okay? Now, in the 2000s, Kobe Bryant appeared in the finals in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2004, 2008, and 2009. So there's more final appearances and more championships. They three-peated 2000, 2001, 2002. Won a championship again in 2009. And like I said, most people include 2009, 2010. So that's 5 championships in a decade. That's 5. So exactly how were the Spurs more dominant? And not only that, in that decade, when the Lakers would play the Spurs in the playoffs, more often than not, they dominated them. More often than not, they dominated. Matter of fact, one of those years, I can't, you know, I'm getting a little older now, so my recall isn't as great as it used to be. My recall used to be amazing when I was in my 20s and 30s, but it was closer to that time period. But one of those series, the Lakers came back from a 2-0 deficit. They were down 2-0 to the Spurs, and we all thought the Spurs were going to win that series, and then the Lakers just turned it on. The Lakers were more dominant. Okay. And let's be honest, the Lakers were just more popular. They were more popular. They were the team of that decade, the most popular team in the NBA at that time. Kobe and Shaq brought back the purple and gold. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to minimize the greatness of Tim Duncan because he definitely didn't get as much credit as he should have for what he did for that franchise. I mean, he turned that franchise into a winning foundation. As soon as he left, they had a period of losing. So I definitely don't want to denigrate that franchise at all. But no, the team of the decade was the Los Angeles Lakers. As a matter of fact, if I go through the history of the NBA, I would say the 40s, the half of the 40s that we had in NBA, although technically it was two leagues, the BAA, the Basketball Association of America, and American Basketball League that combined in 1949, but generally they consider 1946 a start. So I would say during the 40s, the team was the Philadelphia Warriors. Maybe, if I had to just pick one team, even though I don't think they won more than one title, but I think they would just consider the better team out of all the other teams. So let's go to the Philadelphia Warriors in the 40s. In the 50s were the Minneapolis Lakers. The 60s, the Boston Celtics. The 70s, we had a lot of parity. So it's hard to determine what the team of that decade was. But if I had to go out on a limb and pick one team, if I'm going by final appearances, I'll go with the Washington Bullets. I know that sounds crazy, and I don't think most people would do that, but they were in the finals in 71. I think they were in the finals in 75. I think they were in the finals in 70. I'm trying to think here. They were in the finals in 71, 75, 78, and 79, I think. And it might have been the finals another year. But I know there was in the finals 4 times at least. So I had to pick one team. I'll go with them, even though it's hard to pick a team from the 70s because they did only win one title. And then you could also make an argument, well, you could go with Boston again because they did win 2 titles, and it wasn't for the injury to John Havlicek in 1973 in the playoffs. Maybe they won that year, but whatever. 80s Showtime Lakers, 90s Bulls, 2000 Kobe Shaq Lakers, 2000 Teens Golden State Warriors, and this decade is kind of like the 70s. it really hasn't been a dominant team, But no, absolutely not. Don't fall for the hype, man. Kobe and Shaq, and really Kobe since he was on the Lakers after 2004. Kobe was the leader, early on the co-leader of the most successful team in the 2000s. Don't let these LeBron fans try to revise history. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it. What you guys think?